Hello my friends, welcome to the very first episode of, well, you'll see in a moment. So here's the idea. I'm starting a long-term investment experiment focused entirely on the stock of, and every single week I'm going out to buy 10 shares of it. No timing the market, no guessing games, just consistent investing. Week after week. And in this series, I'm going to document the entire journey. Each episode, I'll break down the biggest news affecting the company, show you my growing Excel spreadsheet, or in this case, this portfolio tracker, with how much I've invested and how the position is performing. I'll go over any dividends I receive and give you my take on whether the stock looks like a buy right now. So just for your information, the first dividend from PayPal will be paid on, I think it's the December the 10th. So this won't be covered in here since the first buy I did here was just a few days ago on Friday. So that's not going to be covered then since we haven't owned the stock on the ex-dividend date. So therefore it won't be seen here. But as you can see, I did my very first purchase and it includes 10 shares. Let me see if it's listed here somewhere. Yeah, 10 shares. And I bought them for, I don't know, $61 or something. Yeah, 61.7. And that's pretty much the total value right now. We're slightly up. But long-term is the key in this case, and that's where we are going to be heading. So for your information, this PayPal weekly will be a long-term format, and I hope in maybe 100 episodes or so we can look back onto this very first episode and share a huge laugh on how low the company traded back then, because right now, as you can see, here, the company is just trading at $62.28 right now, which is very, very low and definitely worth a buy in my opinion. If you look at the monthly chart, it doesn't even look that much better because the share price basically has gone up and down and is just slightly up from the lowest lows of like around $58. Yeah. So I personally, I'm definitely a long-term bull, in this case for PayPal, and that's why I decided to start this journey. I am very enthusiastic when it comes to the stock, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go way up in the future. However, I don't know if it's going to take maybe half a year, 1 year, 5 years, or even 10 years. It's very hard to tell. And especially with PayPal, I feel you really need patience. So let's get back to this video's format, which is the PayPal Weekly. And in this PayPal Weekly, we will be covering the news of the recent week. Let's start with like end of November until December the 6th. PayPal in itself, the stock traded more or less flat, gained a couple percent, lost a couple percent. At the end of the day, it's now at like $62.28. The overall volatility spiked quite a bit on December the 3rd. And importantly, you could note that JP Morgan downgraded PayPal from overweight to neutral, which isn't really anything important, but I feel it's mention worthy in this case. Last but not least, the CFO, Jamie Miller, revealed that the branded checkout growth may slow to around 3% in Q4, which concerned quite a few of investors, and this basically led to this dip in the recent days, because we were already recovering quite a bit, and then we went down some more, leading to this short downfall. I think it was almost 3% on the day. But yeah, it's definitely not too great when the CFO of the company drops such concerning news, because currently all the investors are focused on the branded checkout growth, since that's very important to determine the basically future of the company PayPal, or basically the brand PayPal in itself. Analysts themselves are quite split. Personally, I don't hold too much value in the opinion of analysts, because usually what happens is when the stock grows, they increase their stock targets too, and when it goes down, they lower it. So usually they just targeting behind what's already happened, and that's not really something I'm following after. So nothing much of importance to me in this case. So personally, I would like to cover some more intel on the PayPal system current in itself. If you're a long-term investor, the $62 mark looks very interesting. If you got the chance or the opportunity to buy into 58, 59 prices, that's even better. I think you're doing very well on that mark. I don't even think it's bad to invest if you were at the 70 mark and going in there. I personally made myself the goal to buy around 10 shares per week, every single week. And I'm going to cover all of this in this weekly format as well. So next week we should be reaching the new goal, which is 20 shares. And maybe I'll do like a Excel sheet where I'm going to show you guys how the shares in my account increase every single time. Naturally, we will always cover the dividends which I've received from PayPal up until this point. And last but not least, we are also going to cover the weekly change in the price action of PayPal. I personally am going to log the $62 mark for PayPal so far, and then for the next week we will see how it has developed, and then ideally we will have some sort of historical insight on the PayPal stock when it comes to the videos, the weekly videos. I also plan on making some sort of index, like some sort of fear and greed index just for PayPal, where I kind of want to catch your guys' mood on the stock in itself. Like, is it some sort of very greedy mood where everyone thinks PayPal goes up, or is it some sort of desperate mood or hopeless mood where people give up on the stock, sell out, and basically don't look back on the stock anymore. That's something that's very important to me as well. I'm very interested in the entire mood sort of thing when it comes to stocks, because I personally feel that when the feelings in terms of a stock are just negative while you were invested in that stock, it's usually a sign that the stock is currently in a good position when it comes to buying, even though holding may feel very painful. So that's something to keep in mind. Currently, I see a couple of bullish signs, but also bearish signs too. The bullish signs for me is that the stock in itself is super cheap. Like, it's a huge bargain to get PayPal at such a discount right now. It generates huge cash flow, which allows them to buy a lot of the stocks back as well. And that in itself is already a great sign to buy the stock in itself. However, it's not that PayPal isn't growing. It's growing quite a bit. It just depends on the branch that you're looking at. PayPal in itself and the branded side of things, the branded checkout isn't really growing all that much. However, the side businesses or the acquired businesses of PayPal are growing quite a bit, which is the non-branded checkout, Venmo in itself, and lots of other things that PayPal has been doing so far, which is, for example, the debit card or the buy now, pay later loans. So that's all some things we need to consider for sure. Yeah, I would like to keep this first episode rather clean and short. Maybe you can let me know your questions in the comments as well. That could be a part of this format too, so that we have a very clear structure of how we can do this kind of weekly format. Maybe some news, hands-on news. We can see the mood kind of thing, the portfolio, how it's developed, how it's looking right now, and last but not least, some questions from you guys, and maybe some more for the future, but we'll see how it goes until then. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the PayPal Weekly. If you would like to follow me in my PayPal journey, feel free to subscribe, and then we'll stay in touch and continue to do this thing together. Or you may not subscribe and maybe see me back in like 100 episodes, and we'll see each other then. Who knows? That's it for me for today, guys, and we'll see each other in the next episode. Have a nice day and goodbye.